Hello, everybody, and welcome to Principles of Marketing here at Milligan College. This, of course, is the online section of Principles of Marketing. My name is Matthew Harrison, and I am pleased to be your instructor for this semester. So some of you guys may have taken an online course before. Maybe you're a 100% online student, or perhaps this is your first online class. Whatever your situation may be, with my classes, I always like to make a weekly video lecture for you, just to kind of hit the highlights of what it is you're going to be studying and talking about that week. And this particular lecture is not about a chapter or a marketing subject. Here, I just want to kind of explain the course and my expectations for you. I want to show you our syllabus and talk about some of the course policies and just make sure that you're ready. So my email address is here, and I will tell you guys I am not one of those absentee instructors who never responds to emails and never grades anything. I really try to be actively involved in the course and make it as similar to an in-person course as possible. So my email is here. It's mtharrison@milligan.edu. Feel free to reach out to me at any point if you have any questions. I do check my email every day, and I always strive to respond to you in 24 hours or less. However, there are days, particularly on the weekends, when sometimes that may spill out into 48 hours. But typically, 24 hours or less, you can expect a response. This is an introductory course to marketing, so most of you guys in this class are business majors and thus have to have marketing, so you're here. However, there are lots of people who take marketing, not just students who are marketing majors or business majors. So this is a general introductory course just designed to explain to you what marketing is, how you may use marketing in your life and in your future careers. And the big focus here is the marketing mix, also known as the 4Ps: product, price, place, and promotion. We'll spend a lot of time on these Ps this semester. So, that being said, this is the textbook we're going to be using. It's Gruhl and Levy's 7th edition of marketing. It does have the granola bars here on the front, so it is going to make you hungry every time you look at it, and I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. I will say this book, this edition, is like hot off the press, like just came out towards the end of the spring semester. So I've used Gruhl and Levy's books for years, love them, and they're just great, 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 awesome publisher, awesome authors, no complaints. So that being said, I most recently last semester and this summer used the 6th edition of marketing instead of the 7th for this book, and I will tell you that in perusing the 7th and looking through the 6th, there are very, very little differences in the two. So that being said, the 7th edition is a whole lot more expensive than the 6th edition. So if you decide that you would like to purchase the 6th edition or rent the 6th edition instead, I'm totally cool with that. If it's better for you cost-wise to do the 6th, feel free to do the 6th edition instead. That's not a problem. You can purchase either an ebook or a physical copy of the text. I know that ebooks are like the thing now, and students love ebooks. Some of you guys are still more old school and you like to highlight and write in your books. So if you want to do a physical copy, that's fine. Whatever works for you. Just make sure you get the book as soon as possible. Okay. This kind of tells you how our class is set up and what to expect. Each week you are going to have a quiz. And well, let me back up. So each week you will read either 1 or 2 chapters in Gruhl and Levy's text. Usually it's only 1 chapter, but because of all the content we have to cover, there are more chapters than there are weeks. So there are some weeks where you have 2. The chapters usually consist anywhere from 20 to 30 pages. And there is a weekly YouTube video lecture for every chapter where I hit all the highlights and again try to give you that feel of an in-person course. So you should read the chapter first and then watch the video to make sure you've got all the important things out of the chapter that you should. After that, you should take the quiz, and I will tell you the quizzes are cumulative. So this first week, you're going to be reading chapters 1 and 5, and then next week you'll go into chapter 4. So when you take your chapter 4 quiz, it'll include content from chapters 1, 5, and 4. And then during week 3, we'll start chapter 6. So when you do your chapter 6 quiz, you will be, that will cover content from chapters 1, 5, 4, and 6. And it continually builds with the goal, number one, of preparing you for the final exam, but number two, with making sure that you take away the important concepts from this course that you can use in real life. And hopefully that repetition and that cumulative nature will make sure it sticks with you. So, like I said, each week you're going to read a chapter in the book, you're going to watch the video lecture, you're going to take the quiz, and then you have some form of written assignment. Now, I vary these assignments each week. I kind of alternate them between case studies, discussion boards, and marketing application responses. And that being said, I'm going to tell you a little bit about all of these in a second, but they do have similar requirements. Here's our grading scale for the course. Anywhere from 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, so on and so forth. I do accept late assignments. However, we do subtract 10 points for each day that it is submitted late. So keep that in mind. We've already talked about your quizzes. With your marketing application responses, your case studies, and the discussion boards, they all have similar requirements. Each one of these should include 2 chapter concepts from our book. That's 2 bolded words from our book to show that you understand those concepts. You also should include 2 external sources, one of which should be scholarly in nature, meaning that it's coming from a scholarly journal article. That is a marketing department requirement here at Milligan, so please make sure that you include those external sources. With the marketing application responses and the case studies, you're just going to be completing the assignments and submitting them to the Dropbox for me to grade and provide feedback with. The case studies give you some type of problem in the world that you have to go and solve using whatever topics you've learned this week and whatever topics we're discussing in that particular chapter. So pretty cool there. With the discussion boards, I usually pose a question, something interesting about marketing, for you to respond and interpret in different ways, and you can discuss with your classmates and respect each other's opinions and pleasantly disagree. These also should use 2 chapter concepts and 1 external source, or excuse me, 2 chapter concepts and 2 external sources. At least one of those external sources should be scholarly in nature. Same thing for all those assignments. The one difference here is that you also need to reply to at least 2 classmates. So, and that reply should be more than, hey, I agree with John because, you actually need to explain what chapter concept you're using and what theory it is that we're talking about, and maybe how that helps to support your argument or negate someone else's argument. So make sure you keep that in mind. We talked about the final exam as well. I do ask that all of your assignments be submitted as a PDF. And I only do that because in past semesters, I've had students who try to submit Google Docs, or they try to turn in a Pages assignment from a Mac, and Canvas just doesn't like those things. They just don't upload super well, and then you end up getting a 0, and we have to email 10 times about it and finally get the file sorted out. So it's just easier if you save as a PDF. And I have step-by-step instructions and a video tutorial to show you how to do that if you've never done it before. I'll walk you through that. Of course, if you're just doing the discussion board, you can type in the discussion board if you'd like. You don't have to upload it as a PDF if you don't want to. Some people think that it's easier to upload the PDF. Others feel like it's easier to type in the board. I don't care, as long as you answer the question and you are participating with your classmates. That's all that matters. But the marketing application responses and the case studies, where you will for sure be uploading a file, please, please, please make sure those are PDF files, just to keep things simple for us, okay? If you have any kind of disability and need any kind of accommodation, I'll be more than happy to provide that. Just let me know. I suggest allotting between 8 and 10 hours a week to prepare for the course, and that's everything, guys. That includes reading the chapter, watching the YouTube video lecture, taking the quiz, doing the written assignment, responding to your classmates, studying. It's all included in that time. So that being said, some people will take less time. Some people learn more quickly than others, and will just take less time. Others learn at a slower pace and may take more time. So just make sure either way that you allot enough time for you to be successful with those things. Okay? All right, I think we talked about that. At the end of the syllabus here, you do find a tentative course calendar. This has every single due date for the entire semester on it. So you can go ahead and go through, save all these dates in your phone, make sure you're prepared and ready for all of these things. Um, so you'll have this. So for example, for this first week, you always look here to see first to see what you should do to prepare, this third column over, and then you can see what's due in the right-hand column. So for example, this week you need to read the syllabus. Luckily for you, if you've watched this video, we've already gone through it, so you can check that off your to-do list. You also need to read chapters 1 and 5 and watch the chapters 1 and 5 YouTube video lectures. I've also included 2 supplemental videos for you down here to watch. These are very short, like 1 or 2 minutes. And then it tells you what is due. Of course, please, please, please order the textbook, get it in the mail as soon as possible, expedite it, whatever you have to do, get that as soon as possible. Go ahead and take a quiz about our syllabus, just showing that you understand all these things we talked about. There's a pretest about marketing I'd like for you to complete as well. Now this pretest will not count against you. It is a completion grade. So if you do it, you get 100. If you don't do it, you get a 0. It's just for me to see what you already know about marketing. Some people know nothing and you've never taken a marketing class. Other people already know a lot and you took marketing in high school and you're ready. So it just depends. Everybody is at a different place. So I just want to see kind of where you are, what you know. Go ahead and introduce yourself to our class on the introductory discussion board. Tell us who you are, where you're from, why you're taking this class, what you're most interested in studying, which chapter, which they're all listed here on the left, which chapter you're most interested in studying, that kind of stuff. I've included the prompt of the questions you should answer there, and you'll see that when you log into Canvas. Go ahead and take the quizzes for chapters 1 and 5, and then of course you do have a written assignment this week as well, the chapters 1 and 5 discussion boards. So all that is here for the first week, and you can see everything else as you scroll through. For the purposes of our class, the week begins on Monday morning at 8 o'clock, and everything is due, the week ends on Sunday evenings at 11:59 p.m. So make sure that you get everything turned in during that time. I always send out an email with an announcement of everything that's due for the week, usually late Sunday night or early Monday morning, to let you know what you have to work on that week. And then, of course, everything is due by Sunday evening at 11:59 p.m. So that tells you a little bit about that stuff. You can navigate to our course just by going to Canvas, logging in with your username and password. Once you are in, you will see our class and you can click on it. Here on the home screen and also on the modules screen, you see a link to our syllabus and a link to APA formatting. So I do require that all of your papers, the case studies, the marketing application responses, the discussions, I require that for everything you use this APA formatting. This will be what you use in grad school. If you're planning on going to grad school, you'll be using APA. Some of you may have used it before, but if not, I do include a link here to the Purdue OWL. If you've never heard of the OWL, it is fabulous. Will help you very much with all of your APA formatting needs. So that's there if you need it. There's a cheat sheet as well. Of course, there's a link over here to search the library to help you find those scholarly sources that you may need. I recommend using these places in particular, the Journal of Marketing, the Journal of Business Research, or the American Marketing Association. You can always find great scholarly sources there. Don't click on these links directly. If you do, I'm sure you can find great articles, but you have to pay for them if you go to these links. If you just go over here to search the library, you have access through the library database for free to these sources. So I've just listed these here just to remind you of some good places to go, but make sure that you are accessing them through the library over here. Okay. Sometimes also people get confused about what's required. So one more time, I just want to make sure this is clear. Every week you need 2 chapter concepts, so 2 bolded words in your book, you need to use those, and you also need 2 external sources. So I created this submission template here just to show you what is required. So you can see you've underlined one key term and the second key term, and then you have your references listed here at the end in APA format, and you've cited them somewhere in your paper as well using parenthetical citations. Now, if you don't like this template, you don't have to use it. It's just here to kind of help guide you in the process to make sure you include all the required components. Here's an example from a previous semester of a submission template that was completed by another student, and you can see kind of what she did. She has listed here vendor managed inventory, VMI, as her chapter concept, and she underlined it every time she used it. She's also included more than one chapter concept. She's also included electronic data interchange and limited assortment supermarkets, and that's great. You just have to have at least two, but you're more than welcome to include as many as you want. I've seen people use 20 before. So as long as you have two, that's important just to show you're understanding those concepts each week. She's listed her references here at the end using APA format, although they should be alphabetized, but she didn't do that, but they should be. And then you can see in the paper when she's referenced these things, she used parenthetical citations, meaning that she has the author's last name and the year. Okay, and every time she referenced one of these scholarly sources, she has one of those parenthetical citations. So make sure that you do that. That's very, very important. Okay, again, if you don't like this submission template, don't use it. It's just here to make sure you have all of those things, the two chapter concepts and the two sources. Okay. So moving back over to our home page here, you can see the syllabus, the submission template, and the APA formatting. Here are those tutorials for saving a PDF document. And then for week 1, you have your video lectures, the Quizlets, everything that is due. It's all listed for you here. Okay. And again, the course is set up so that you may work ahead if you'd like to do so. There's week 2 and 3 and 4 all the way posted, so you can work ahead as much as you want to. If you know you're having a busy week come up, go ahead and work ahead. Hopefully, this has answered all of your questions and hopefully alleviated some concerns you maybe had about the course. So if you have any further questions, I'm always happy to answer those. Feel free to shoot me an email at mtharrison@milligan.edu. I hope you guys have a wonderful fall semester, and I look forward to being your instructor this semester. Have a great day.